Bags down, spikes on. Welcome to the track. Hi, my name is Colin Waitsman, and I'm going to be your host for this episode of Track World News presented by The Harrier. And today we have a very special episode joining us from LSU, currently located in Texas, eight-time All-American, 2016 NCAA champion in the 4x1. We have Jaron Flournoy. Jaron, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, man. I stay connected to your page, and I was hoping I eventually get an opportunity to be on here, and look where we're at.
There we are. Yeah, thanks for doing this. I'm super excited to chat. And so for those that aren't familiar, we're going to talk about the viral video soon. Stay tuned. We're going to get into all that. But before we get into your track career and everything, you come from a pretty big family and very, very similar names. I think you have 5 different siblings, and You have one trait that's all familiar with you guys. What is it with your family that you all have in common there?
We all J's. all J's. Yep, 6 J's, and I'm the oldest of 6. I have 1 younger brother and 4 younger sisters.
Did you talk to your mom about that or dad about that at any point? Like, why are we all J's? Any reason for that, or how'd it come up?
I don't think it was no certain reason. I just think once they named me, I just felt like I asked them before, but they didn't really have any reason. I just think after they named me, they just said, okay, I think it'd be cool if we name all our kids J's,
There we go.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're the start of it all. To think if you were named, Mike or something like that, it could have been all M's or all whatever. But
right.
There you go. And so do any of your younger siblings, do they run track as well, or are you the only track athlete besides you? And I think your mom was also in track as well.
Yeah, my mom ran track. My dad played football. My younger brother, he ran track. He ended up going to UTEP and running for I think a year, but he figured it kind of wasn't really for him. So he ventured off into different things. He's still in school, but he doesn't run track anymore. Younger sisters, they thought about running track. My mom definitely wants to put them in. I think they're going to try to run this summer, so we'll see how that goes. I know they definitely have the potential. It runs in the family, but it's just whatever interests them.
Yeah, they gotta have the speed. If you're having all that athletic genes in the family, they got something for sure.
Definitely.
And so before we get into some track as well, no, you're from the Detroit area, Detroit, Michigan, have a lot of great celebrities from the Detroit area. So I'm going to be missing a lot, but I want you to give me if they're a legend or not. I got a couple celebrities from Detroit. You let me know if they're Detroit legends or if they're flops here. All right. So first one, Big Sean.
Big Sean's a legend. I don't listen to too much Big Sean, but just from what I see Big Sean, what he does for the city of Detroit and just everywhere else, he's definitely in the legend category. Yeah.
I agree with that. I remember back in middle school, I was just jamming to all this stuff. That's when he was starting to blow up. So I'm right there with you. Next, Eminem.
There's no question. That's no question. He put Detroit on. He put Detroit on the mainstream. Yeah, he's definitely a legend.
Exactly. I feel we know the answer there, but you gotta go with it. Gotta go with it.
Yeah.
Next we have Diana Ross.
No questions asked, man. She's also a legend of Detroit. No questions.
Yeah, it's hard to find people that aren't. We'll have to see. So this with recent history. So if you're listening to this when it comes out, this might be a reason why he might not be. But Tyron Woodley.
No. No, when I think of Detroit legends, Tyron Woodley doesn't even come to my mind at all. It's just me though.
Yeah. Well, once you get knocked out by Jake Paul, it's a little tough. That's a hard L to take. That's a hard L to take. And then last one for you, we have Kevin Love.
No, he's not a legend. Kevin Love, don't get me wrong, he's a great basketball player. But when you go into the category of a legend, I think that's just a whole nother ballpark, something that he hasn't reached yet. I'm not saying he can't reach it, but he's not a legend in my eyes.
So he's good. Not a legend though. You gotta get another ring or something before you get
right.
All right. I can appreciate that. I appreciate that. And then, so being from Detroit, you guys, the sports teams have been in a little bit of a lull from Detroit. They're not, the Lions struggling a little bit. You got the Pistons struggling a little bit, got some potential coming up now, and Red Wings not doing too hot. How are you being from there? Have you adopted other sports because they haven't been other teams because they haven't been doing so hot, or are you just going through it right now with your teams?
To be honest, I never was really a Detroit sports fan, as you can say. I've watched it growing up, like on Thanksgiving and holidays, like Christmas and stuff. Of course, the family put the Lions game on, and we'll watch. But ever since I've started track, I've been so into track. I really don't even watch any other sports, to be honest.
Oh wow!
So yeah, like I watch football every now and then, but I train my mind just to know track and track only, because that's just where my heart is right now.
It's so cool because like I'll talk to all my friends and they're like, oh yeah, who's your favorite sports teams or your favorite athletes or whatever? Or like, what's your favorite sport to watch? I'm like, to be honest with you, track and field, like, is my favorite sport to watch. I mean, obviously you're being a pro and in that circuit, it's a little different. Like it's a little different, but still for me, I'm like, yeah, favorite sports track to watch. Like genuinely, like I like it the most. And they're like, who's your favorite athletes? People are saying like LeBron or Kevin Durant or Tom Brady. Yeah. And I'm like over here, like, yeah, I like Mondo Duplantis a lot. Like, I think it's like, who? It's like, yeah, that's what I like, man.
That's cool. I love that though. Like, I feel like track definitely needs that more attention brought to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it has some potential. There's definitely a lot of potential for it to grow up here soon, which I'm excited for. A lot of names doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, wanted to start with you on where track and field began. As we mentioned, we know your mom competed in track as well. How did you get involved in the sport?
Well, I just had an interest for running in general. So when I was around 8, I started club track. I don't know if you know Stan Edwards.
Okay.
You know Stan Edwards. Stan Edwards is Braylon Edwards. He used to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
And his father is Stan Edwards, and he owned a track club in Michigan. So that's where I started off running. I started off running there at 8. I used to do everything, the 100. I used to do field events like high jump, long jump. So yeah, we're a kid. We got energy to do everything. So that's where I started off. And it was just the love of watching my mom run and wanting to continue the legacy that she brought into the family, because she kind of gave that up after she had me to take care of me. So she gave up her little kind of like her track career to make sure I had everything I needed. So I felt like, it was my legacy to continue that and continue that for the family.
Yeah, it's got to be like warming, like, oh man, like I want to pass the torch on, like continue this going on. Well, yep. So did you compete in similar events as your mom did, or did she do other things?
No, same event. She was sprinter, 1 to 4.
Yeah. So what for you, was it like a big moment where you were like, oh, I finally got my mom's time, like I'm officially the fastest in the family? Was that like ever a moment in your eyes, or was that not something you were too focused on growing up as a kid?
No, I wasn't really too focused on that. The main thing was just making her happy and proud of what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. And so going in with that, I mean, you became very successful going throughout the state of Michigan, being champions, and then finding out you're going down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I mean, that's a long drive, long flight, whatever it is. I mean, how did you end up finding and going through and picking out LSU eventually?
Actually, LSU reached out to me kind of late. So in high school, I had I was missing 1 credit, so I had to take a summer class. And so I had to get all that figured out. And then after I finished my summer class, LSU finally reached out. And so I was yet to make my decision yet. Of course, I had other offers and visits to other places, but I really wanted to make sure I had all my offers before I just, committed to any place. So once LSU offered me, me and my coach talked about it. He knew all about LSU. So we decided to take my last visit there. Once we went, it kind of just solidified my decision. It wasn't even a normal visit. So it was me and my teammate that went. Mm-hmm. It was like during the summer, so all the athletes wasn't there. It was not a normal visit. So that's how like it was just the coaches and just the facilities and everything that brought me in. It wasn't nothing like parties or nothing. They the normal visit stuff. Yeah. So I just felt connected to everything there.
Yeah, that was actually similar for me. Like my first visit to my school, I went to Mount St. Mary's. You were in the SEC, I was in the NEC. So I always say we're the SEC of the North, even though no one knows our school at all. It's a tiny thing, but like no, we're the SEC of the North. And same for me. Like my first visit, I saw the school in the middle of the summer. There's no students on campus. It was actually funny because all the doors were locked. Like, so my coach is trying to like let us in. Like, oh yeah, let me show you the academic building, and it's closed. He's like, oh, well, it's closed, but it's really nice in there, I promise. And it's like, yeah, but it was just something about being on that campus that I was like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Right. And that's exactly, man. And then seeing Mike the Tiger too, I was just like, oh, yeah, they got a tiger on that campus. That's cool.
Yeah, that's gonna help you out. That's gonna help you out. And so for you guys, it seems like I've just interviewed over half of the LSU team or alumni. We've done Terrence Laird, Sean, Noah Williams, Javon, now you, Jaron. And something that I've heard from every one of them is the culture at LSU is it's just different. It's like you have a different mindset, like the athlete, like you guys are just going after each other in a healthy way. But could you kind of touch on like what it was that they were talking about? Because you were there a little bit before them, and so you're starting a little bit before Terrence or Noah or all of them were doing it. So what was it from your perspective of what's that LSU culture really like when you're at the school?
Like you said, the main thing is different. So it all starts with the coaches. Well, the coach I spoke with a lot, of course, Dennis Shaver is my the head coach, but the coach I worked with a lot was Coach Benny Brazil, and he's all about mindset. He's all about the mind, and so he, from the first step I took on that campus, he instilled like on how strong of a mindset you have to have, and the first day of practice, of course, this guy's talking mess, like just saying any and everything to get in your head and all that. So like it's really different. Like it's hard to explain, man. Like unless you part of the culture, and then unless you're there to experience it, like it's hard to really explain. But you just gotta have like a mindset that's ready to take on any and everything, and you can't be weak-minded at all. And so I feel like whenever we touch the track, it's like it's nothing that we can't take, or if something messes up in our race, it's nothing that we can't bounce back from or fix. Or so it's like, yeah, that's pretty much what I could say about it.
Yeah, it's like, because every year it's like the big professional coming out of track is gonna be, it's probably gonna be coming out of LSU. You have Laird and Harrison this past year, yourself and Shikari back in 2019. It's like, and probably Noah next year, and maybe Sean Burrell the year after. It seems like there's big names coming out, so it's competitive, not just in the sprints, but all across the board. So and actually all across all sports, really. It seems like LSU just has that swagger to it, where it's like, you're good. And it's like, you gotta, like, everyone has fun with each other, knowing like, hey, we have some good talent across the athletics, really.
Right. We walk in the building, you definitely know we coming to put on the show, and we're not playing no games with nobody.
Exactly. Yeah. That purple and gold. And so a big thing, something that a lot of people would know you from, or maybe not know yourself, but have seen the clip. I was taking a look at it a few minutes, hours ago. It's the 4x1 ending in the Texas relays in 2019. And
Yeah.
so on YouTube, it's got like millions of views. On Twitter, there's hundreds of thousands of likes and views. You have tons of people going into it. Could you first, just for those that might not have seen the video or haven't seen it since 2019, could you kind of break down what happened as the anchor leg of that 4x1 for the Texas relays?
So basically, I got the stick. Houston had got the stick a little bit before me, and all I was thinking is just I wanted to win. I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to let my team down, and so I just got the stick and I focused on me. I blurred the crowd out. I blurred everything else. I focused on me and my lane, and by the time I crossed the finish line, or I knew I was going to cross the finish line, I looked over. I seen I was in front, and so I decided to give Houston a little glance and just be competitive. I'm not gonna say showboat. I'm gonna say be competitive, because that's what I do. I compete, and once you get to a level where you feel like competition is fuel, I could say, it bumps you up another level, and I think that level of intensity just took me to just do what I did. But it wasn't anything negative. It wasn't towards specifically Houston. It could have been another team, but I still would have felt pumped up and did what I probably did. But yeah, I just felt real intense, and it's just the emotions of the sport and everything. Because I don't know if anybody knows, the year before that, Cameron Burrell kind of walked me down on a 4x1, and so I was thinking just payback.
Yeah, it's that those competitive juices, and having it be the other big sprint school, they go by H-Town Speed City, got Carl Lewis as the coach, and you two are right in the center of the track, right next to each other, and by the end of the race, you walk them down from about 2 meters or so, and then you're even closer to each other by the end. It's like you were right on the inside of your lane, he was right on the inside, so you're shoulder to shoulder, and then give a oh yeah, like that was did you guys talk at all after that, or did you guys have any conversation?
Yeah, I had talked to him. We all cool at the end of the day. We all do what we do. We run, and you get beat sometimes, you win some at times. So it's like you got that's how when it comes back to the mindset. If they had a weak mindset, that they could have took it a whole different type of way. Mm-hmm. But we mentally strong. Coach Burrell coaches probably similar to Coach Shaver and Benny, so they have strong mindsets. And so yeah, we spoke after. We was always cool.
Yeah, and it was a shame, unfortunately, we weren't able to see you guys in the NCAA. So you did get you guys did get the heads up there. And before we move on, I wanted to I don't know, I'm sure you probably saw a fair amount of comments, but I took out two tweets that I saw in reply. I want to get your reaction, kind of like when on the TV shows and they have celebrities reading mean tweets. I got a couple mean tweets for you. So this first one is from Derek Torres Baker. He said, "This is unprofessional on LSU's part, and this is why I don't like a lot of sprinters." So, any reaction on that?
I hear that, and he doesn't like a lot of sprinters. Okay. So that means he likes, I'm not gonna say the boring races, but he doesn't like much. See, this is why I don't get into that, because I don't want to say other races are not competitive, but for me, sprinting is, you have to be a beast, and you have to have a beast mindset. And I feel like all athletes should be able to feel that way, whether you run track or not. So just in my eyes, I feel like that's coming from somebody that never competed or played a sport a day in their life.
Yeah, you got to have that. It's like that kill or be killed warrior mindset with sprinting. Because if you're just a split second late off the blocks, your race is over. You're done. So it's all about that. And then last one for you. This is from Phil Patterson. He says, this is a little weird, so I had to get it. But he's like, would have loved would love him to clock his cocky ass and then stand over him and taunt. So
I would have loved for him to try that too. But message to Phil.
Message to Phil if you're listening.
I would like Phil to step on a race. We can set up a race. I could do it to you, and let's see if you do that when I'm standing right in front of you.
There we go, Phil. You got you heard it here first. We'll set up a 1v1 100. We'll even give you 10 meters probably. You'll do a 110. He'll do a 100, and we'll see. We'll see how it is. All right. So with that, so I didn't put in my 2 cents, but I personally loved it. And so I was the senior at the time, and I was like, I think this is something that we need a lot of in track. We saw it as well with Shikari doing the same thing. You got in the same race actually in Texas Relays. She was excited. We saw her doing a lot of stuff this year as well. And my 2 cents has always been, this is the excitement that we don't really get in track and field, where people obviously are going to be friends and be nice to each other, but at points there you don't get that competitive fire as much. And we've seen it recently becoming a little bit more apparent. I was interested on your perspective of how track could kind of get more of that competitive fire. So it's, like with other sports, there's rivalries, and we don't really have rivalries like that in track. So I was wondering from your perspective. I mean, you were right in there with you and Houston. Want to see what you were thinking on something like that.
As a sport, I just feel like it for me. I'm gonna continue this. You're gonna hear me say this a lot. It's all about the mindset. I just feel like it's nothing we can change in the sport, but our mindsets. I feel like you come into a race, everybody's your rival, and you should feel like that. And all of the greats you see them at a meet. They don't speak. They don't shake your hand. They're not coming to play in the games. Like, you're their rival at the end of the day. They're coming to beat you. So I feel like that brings just intensity. That brings it brings what we see in other sports, like for example football. Everybody their teammates help them off the ground. You don't see other teammates like, okay, come on, I just tackled you, I just hurt you. This was like, no, like it's the same thing with track. Like, of course, at the end of the day, we care, and we care about each other as humans and stuff. But at the end of the day, you're there to beat that person. There's no friends at the end of the day. It's nothing like that. It's nothing friendly when you step on the track. And that's the mindset you have to have. And that's the only way track is going to have that intensity, is if everybody feels that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I'm here to be faster than you and to bring a championship for either A, myself, or B, my team, or both. And so it's like that's what my goal is. I'm not just, it's like, yeah, sure, we can be friendly off the track, but when we're in between these two lanes, like I'm here to win. I'm here to win.
Exactly.
And so after college, ended up signing with I believe Nike, right? And so what was that like, going from, a guy first competing in Michigan and then not getting an offer till late, then going to one of the biggest schools in college track, having one of the biggest videos, and then now you sign with one of the biggest companies as a pro? Like, what was that like going, now being over here with Nike when you first got started?
It was a great feeling. I was very excited, and shout out to Nike for believing in me, because they didn't have to sign me. I was hurt at the end of the day, but I showed and I proved to them that I still deserved to represent a big company. And so I was very excited, and I just wanted to be able to prove myself even more, because what I did my senior year, I just touched the surface of what I can do. And I know it's way more things that's under my belt that's coming very, very soon. And I just I'm happy I'm able to be able to do that in the Nike uniform.
Yeah. And what's it, if you were to go back to yourself, you go and you're able to have a conversation with, let's say, 10-year-old you, and you were to tell him, hey, by the way, like when you're 25, you're gonna do this, that, the third, pro, Nike, all that. What do you think 10-year-old you would say if you were able to tell them like all the stuff you're able to accomplish so far, and you're only, only 25 at this point?
First of all, I probably would have told myself that you're not gonna run track. I'm gonna be playing NFL because I was so stuck on football. I was stuck on football for a long time. So I started running track at 8, but then once I got the I think it was middle school, I stopped running track for a little bit, and I played football for like the next until my sophomore year of high school. Then I started back running track. So I was locked in on football for so long. So my 10-year-old self would have told myself, like, no, you're going to be in the NFL. Like, it's no doubt.
No shot. No shot.
Yeah.
Track? No.
Right.
Get out of here. Get out of here. And so this past year competed in the trials. I believe was that your first Olympic trials experience?
Yeah, my first one.
Yeah. So competed at the trials. And so how were you, with this year just coming off of the COVID year? It was a tough year for everyone, and then trying to get back into things. How, what was your mindset going into this past 2021 season with things just kind of beginning to open up with that?
Oh, I was ready to go. I was hungry, and I was very ambitious of the things I wanted to get done. But I was set back by some injuries. So I kind of started running late, and I didn't have too much training under my belt. So I just kept a positive mindset, like, I can still get out there and do this. I can still get out there and try to make this team. And I just kept positive. And coming back from COVID, I was just happy to be back on the track, to be honest. Be back doing my thing. And of course, we go through ups and downs. The injuries was my down, but you continue to fight and push through those things for something you really love to do. So, yeah.
Yeah. And there's something rewarding about being able to then reach your goals after you come back from an injury. Cause it's like, man, I was at my highest high, and then I was at a pretty low with injuries, and then bang, we're right back there. It's like, it's sweeter once you hit you have that injury, and what you've gone through to be able to reach, your goals in the future anyway.
Right. But the thing is, I haven't even got back to where I was my senior year yet.
Yeah.
But like I said, I felt like a little bit training as a professional from LSU. I was since I was hurt, like I said, I didn't have much training under my belt. But since now I'm back fully healthy, I've had a full fall training. Everything is going great. So taking it step by step, and I know for a fact I'm coming back better than ever.
I can't wait. One thing I'm always interested in when it comes to fall training. So fall training workouts, they suck. They're terrible. They're not fun. That's the point of them. The point of it is for it to be awful. What would you say was one of your most difficult fall training workouts that you had this past fall?
Well, my new coach Boogie Johnson, every workout has been fall training workout I've ever did. Yesterday we had 10 300s. And then another hard workout, we had repeat 400s. Then we had this past Tuesday, I had like a 600, a 500, a 400, a 300, 200, and then back up. So listen, we working over here, but every day is one of those days.
Are you doing the 400 nowadays? Like, geez, I know that don't sound like 200 meter workouts to me.
It's coming, man. But no, I've always believed that I can run open 400 pretty fast. I split 43.9 in college on a relay, so I definitely believe 44 is in my legs and open.
There we go. We got people last year going down to the 1. This year, people going up to the 4. It's exciting to see people trying out new things. Like it's like, hey, I was doing this. Let's do a little. Let's try something new. Let's see what's going on. Personally, I commend you. Those 4x4s were awful. I'm glad I don't have to run anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how it goes though. And this year, so not this year, but the next like 3-4 years, a lot of like there's a major championship every year. I think there's 2 this season with indoors and outdoors of the world championships. And so it's a very hectic year for the next few seasons, or a very hectic time. What's
Right.
like what's your mindset being like, okay, like I'm right in my prime of sprinting, and we're about to be going through a time in track and field that we've never had before, where there's majors almost every year. What's it
Right.
like for you as an athlete to be going through this, at the year that you are right now?
The main thing for me, I just tell myself, stay healthy. Stay healthy. I stay healthy, and the sky's the limit. Like I said, it's mindset. Training is a mindset thing. I go to practice every day and have that mindset that I will be great, and I will be the best that I can be this year. And that just pushes me through every workout. So like I don't really think too much ahead. I go in, think about that day of practice, go home, think about recovery. And after that, I just continue to tell myself, stay healthy. I don't think about the world championships. I don't think about making the teams until I'm there that day. And then of course I game plan. I have plans in my head, like, I will make this team. I tell myself that every day. But as far as really just thinking about it, I take it day by day and make sure I'm getting better day by day before it even gets to that point.
Awesome. And well, by the time this episode's coming out, it's the first episode of 2022. So welcome. You're the first. You're at the first episode of 2022. So again, it'd be only fitting to say, what are some of your goals for 2022? With it now, I guess. Well, recording this, it's still 2021. But what are your new goals that you have for this season or this year for yourself? I know you said stay healthy. So let's say, other than staying healthy, because obviously you want to make sure you're staying healthy, of course, too.
Win. I wanna go undefeated. I don't want to feel a loss. I don't. I wanna go into every race being in front and staying in front.
Mhm.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Just I stay healthy and I do that. Everything else will play its part. Everything else will come in the line how it's supposed to.
Love it. Yeah, if you don't have the winning mindset, then you got the losing mindset. So might as
Right.
well. But
Yeah.
when do you have your first meets yet?
I do have another. I want to show everybody that I can be a 1-2-4 guy. That Fred isn't the only person I could do.
It's not the only one. We got a couple other ones. And have you picked out your schedule yet for meets you're looking to do, or are we still looking around for what you're going to do, at least for the indoor season yet?
We're still waiting. Me and Coach been talking about it a little bit, but we got some things to work on. So I left it up to him. It's his call whether I run indoor or not. But as far as outdoor, we haven't came up with a schedule yet.
Gotcha. Still got some time. But Jaron, thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate it. Where could people go if they wanted to learn more about you and follow more about what you're doing on social media?
Well, I mainly be on Instagram. My Instagram is jflow JAYYFLO2. So yeah, I mainly be on Instagram. I don't really use much Twitter or nothing like that. So if you want to reach out to me, just find me on Instagram. But no, I love being on here. I love talking to you, Colin. You know, it was a great experience, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I'm glad to have connected. It's been awesome seeing your stuff over the past year or so, and I'm super excited to see how you're going to be doing this season. So yeah, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who's been listening. This has been another episode of Track World News. If you want more content from us, go over on Instagram at Track World News, post different highlights, clips, news, all that type of stuff. And also make sure that you leave a like, subscribe, and leave a review for the show. Only takes a few seconds, but it really does mean the world to us. Have a good one and talk to you soon. Peace.